boss was buried today, as we told you earlier, but a dangerous criminal element still remains, lurking behind corners and hidden in back rooms. Tonight, Polly Kreisman takes a unique look at Chinatown as she enters the Dragon.
Today's funeral for Chinatown's reputed godfather marks the end of an era and the first chance for police in the New York City gang squad to eyeball many of the members of the Asian underworld. Thousands of people from all over the country were in Chinatown today to pay respects to Benny Ong. Police say many of them operate outside the law, inside a world many Westerners never travel. Since Chinatown was settled over 100 years ago, it has followed its own set of rules. To understand why, we go into the belly of the dragon. The real power here is held by the major business associations, or DOMs, like the Sung Sin Association and the An Long Association.
And this is the third major dom, the Hip Sing Association, where Benny Ong was leader. Police and residents refer to the doms as the Chinese Mafia. Now, they do often perform benevolent acts throughout the community, but every single dom is affiliated with a gang.
These gang thieves probably recognized him while he was eating. Decided he can't get money from him or whatever, and beat him up instead.
The gangs do the dirty work for the doms.
What do you typically deal with?
They extort money from stores or from trucks or from businesses. They'll do robberies. They'll rob people. Kids come down the block. If they're not in a gang, but someone gang they're from, they'll rob them.
They are the gang squad operating across the alley behind the city's oldest police precinct, the 5th. Maps and notebooks filled with mugshots help them to make sense of this seamy underworld. For example, police say the main source of income for the Sung Sing Association comes out of a building at 7 East Broadway, an old tenement house wired with a score of security cameras.
Those cameras record everybody who comes up and down the stairs. On the outside, it looks like a beauty parlor, but on the inside, officers at the 5th Precinct say it's actually something very different.
You don't see that many brushes or combs on the counters, don't you? They work very hard.
It's a front for a house of prostitution. When we arrived, the working women ran out, the cubicles now empty, but for the clothes they left behind.
So theoretically, the money that's made here goes where?
It's not an association. It's associations.
Yeah?
Those associations, and they'll use it for legal activities, open up other gambling parlors, other prostitution locations, drugs.
One flight up, a gambling hall. Nobody home. Not the case at 119 Hester Street, a gambling operation in full swing moments earlier. Now, we could hear a pin drop.
It's just like Atlantic City. They use chips. And the money that the chips are cashed in for is kept in a drawer under the table.
Leaving the tables as they were, the 5th Precinct Gang Unit left. As soon as we were gone, life returned to this illegal gang-run gambling parlor. And like the other site, right next door, a prostitution ring. The madam is warning the other girls there's a camera here.
So she pays off the Fukinese gang members.
She ain't telling us if she did, but she probably is. She's stupid, you know, probably scared.
The Fukinese gang members are newer on the scene. They're from an urban province in southeast China. Unlike the older association members, some still first-generation Chinese American. Police say the only tradition for the Fuks is violence.
Does one gang have a reputation for being the baddest, meanest, most horrifying ones?
If I had to pick anybody, I'd say Fukinese because they're crazy.
The following night, we spotted undercover cops outside that gambling hall on Hester Street. They told us it's run by the Fuks.
We're taking up some activity inside the location there. I'm trying to ascertain who's going to be arrested.
The cards and chips were confiscated, and about a dozen men and women running the gambling enterprise were cuffed and arrested. These type of gang crimes are mostly hidden from outsiders, but police say kids like these make up an army of young enforcers, extorting tens of thousands of dollars a month from area stores and restaurants. Police say the Ghost Shadows are the gang run by the On Long Association.
These kids are ghost shadows in Pearl Street, and they're over here protecting the stores. You know, they collect supposedly protection money, and he's a street boss, you know, through our information. And most of them have been arrested by our unit, all the precinct detectives, you know, for weapons, you know, extortion and whatnot, other crimes.
When you talk about how they're protecting the street, what are they protecting people against?
From other gangs. Other gangs come in their territory and trying to extort money from these stores. So they'll stay here and just watch all the stores, and you know, they're getting paid from these stores also.
One night, police say, these Fukinese gang members were eating in this restaurant when rival gangsters came at them with knives. The bleeding victim sat in the squad car while the cops pulled diners out one by one so that he could identify his attackers. The perps were never caught. Nowadays, gang members are recruited straight from the schoolyard.
They offer you fast money, they offer you shelter, they offer you food, they offer you protection, they offer you just a sense of belonging to something.
Social workers at the Chinatown YMCA say they work just as hard to recruit as the gangs do. How do you talk them into it?
I think my counselor, the staff, does a wonderful job in terms of having them feel welcome, giving them activities to do, listening to them, giving them protection from what's outside.
But it doesn't always work. Police tell us this 14-year-old girl is a gang member.
You just like to play with them? What kind of things do you do when you play with them?
Huh? Hang around in the park.
Hang around in the park? You ever see guns?
No.
Do you ever see anybody get hurt?
Yes.
Have you seen anybody get killed?
I wasn't there when they got killed.
You weren't there when the guy got
Yeah.
killed. But aren't you scared to be with people who kill other people?
Yes.
You are? Then why do you hang around them? You're 14 years old. Why do you do it? You can tell me. Tell me why. Because it makes you feel good to be with the group?
Yeah.
But today marks a new era for the gangs, the Dongs, and Chinatown. Perhaps a community so steeped in secrecy and tradition can see this moment as an opportunity for change, a beginning, as well as an end. In Chinatown, Polly Kreisman, Channel 9 News.